Come on and breathe. I said, can you find some peculiar stuff that's happened in churches? And we have laughed so hard this week, Lance and Becky and I, because I mean, there's tons of stuff on the internet. Some of it's not even G-rated either. You know, it's pretty funny. But I'm not making fun of anybody, but that's kind of peculiar, don't you think? Just a tad bit peculiar. You know, cannonball into the baptistry. Well, welcome to Cross Point Church. We're glad that you're here. Welcome to part one of Peculiar. If you didn't know the name of the message before you came in, you probably gathered it by that video right there. You know, sometimes the things that we do in our families are peculiar. And sometimes, and people come over to our house, they say, what on earth? Why do you do that? And sometimes within our church family, there are things that we do that are somewhat peculiar. Now, I'll be honest with you and say you never have to worry about me dancing like that and falling over backwards. I promise I won't ever do that. I have thought about getting a toupee. Never say never. I've thought about getting a toupee before, but after I watched that video, that's too big of a risk there. I'm not going to do the toupee thing. But one of my favorite preachers is Jim Cymbala in the Brooklyn Tabernacle. I love that man. I love what he has to say. And this is what he says about the church in America today. He says the church in America has kind of taken it to extremes. He says it seems like the church in America is either a cemetery or an insane asylum. And he says what we need to do is kind of bring it to the middle. And if you haven't noticed that here at Cross Point, that's what we're trying to do. We are very specifically a middle-of-the-road church. You know, we want people to come in and feel the love of Jesus. We want people to come in and feel the excitement. We want people to come in and feel passion and energy, and that we can serve God, and that is a very exciting thing. But we don't want to be doing things that would make people want to run out the back door. We don't want to be that strange. But as middle of the road as we try to be, I still believe that there are things that we do here within this church that might be kind of classified as a bit peculiar. And so for the next 4 weeks, we are going to talk about some of those things that might just seem a little bit peculiar to some of you, especially those of you who might not be raised in the church. And I'm excited about what I'm going to share today, because today we're going to talk about this piece of equipment here, this piece of furniture called the altar. Because for some of you, the altar is a little bit of a peculiar thing. Now, when I say that, some of you are probably going, yes, Harv, I'm so glad that you're going to talk about the altar. Because it is kind of strange to me when we use the altar. It's a little bit weird to me when people walk down to the altar. I don't quite get that. That is a little peculiar to me because, hey, my Christian experience is that we didn't have altars in our church. And so I've never been in a church until Crosspoint that has an altar. So that is a bit peculiar. Now, some of you who have been in the church all your life, you're like, why on earth would you say the altar is peculiar, Harv? I mean, are you calling me weird because I come to the altar? And of course, you know I'm not calling you weird because I'm the one who invites you down here to